It's tabletop time.
Tabletop, I forgot to say it. Go.
I'm Jen.
I'm Rob.
I'm Jazza.
I'm Dave.
Welcome to GRIMM Part 3. Before we jump into it,
We are starting our brand new long-form campaign next Tuesday. Episode 1, we're going to be live streaming it at 10:30 AEDT, AEST. I'm not sure which one we're in. But you can find the details of that either below on our Twitch page or on the YouTube video. Maybe?
yeah, and follow us on Twitch.
Yeah, follow us on Twitch.
Yay.
You get notified, which is really cool.
Sorry for the interruption, but we're here to tell you this video is brought to you by Whale Milk. We're excited to let you know that you can, with pride, wear your Whale Milk merch or drink out of your Whale Milk's reciprocal or sleep on your Whale Milk pillow. Do you like to drink and chew at the same time?
It's my biggest problem with regular milk is that it doesn't exercise my jaw muscles. I don't have this problem anymore, thanks to whale milk.
If you're on a no solids diet, whale milk is the closest you'll get to feeling like you're not. And you can help share the good word of this product by wearing it or displaying it in every and any way possible. This is a real item of merchandise. We're sharing and selling for a limited time because of the dumb jokes we make up with Twitch chat while we stream.
I'm sorry, I zoned out because someone said Tris wants to milk a whale and then that made me Google things. And now I kind of regret it.
Rob! Stop! Stop! It's an inside joke that has escalated beyond belief, and you can aid that escalation by supporting Tabletop Time by getting yourself some whale milk merch today. Again, limited time, because we have no idea if anyone is going to find this funny enough to get.
Just put my face in your space.
That's Rob drinking whale milk.
Support whale milk.
No whales were harmed in the production of this product.
And in our previous episode, we met our characters who are all going to introduce themselves briefly, one by one, starting with Jen.
I am playing Helga. I have a hatred for gremlins or goblins. It's goblins in particular because they locked me in an oven. And I'm helping these guys out.
That's enough.
Yep, cool, great.
Rob, just a
Nothing
quick,
else
like a
forever.
one sentencer.
I am Brynjolf or Bryn, the woodsman, and I got in... Wait, do I say what I did?
Yeah, we're episode 3, sorry.
Cool, yeah, I got in a fight with a werewolf who bit me, but I don't yet know what that's caused. And the last thing I knew was I was being carried away in a house with a witch.
I'm Wolfgang, and I I'm trying to join the Grimm gang on the first mission to prove myself, and have tried to rescue these children.
Well, that sounds more like a recap than a character introduction. So now I don't need to recap as much.
And I am traumatized and strict.
Okay.
There you go.
So in the previous 2 episodes, our group grouped up investigating 2 missing children. They headed out into the forest after shaking down the parent of one of these children, and they split up. Bryn was drawn by the howl of a wolf, and he confronted a wolf. And in a fight, he was overpowered and bitten by the wolf, who was less beastly than he might have assumed, but he doesn't care. And the other 2 found a house where they found 2 starving children, Hansel and Gretel. Wolfgang rescued them, got them out a window. There was some jumping, some catching, and currently the house is standing up on its chicken legs, and Bryn is inside with a witch.
This is very unusual.
And it's beginning to stomp away. We will pick up the story.
Okay, quick, after them.
You guys are currently floundering on the ground because
Yeah.
you barely caught. You like collapsed in a heap on the ground. You've got these 2 kids.
Yeah.
I'm a level 2 injury, right?
So we're gonna, you guys are injured,
Yeah.
and
Am I?
Although I think
I'm gonna.
you
If you're
were
not injured, you
okay.
are now. You can have a level 1
Sweet.
injury.
I shouldn't have said
so
anything.
glad I spoke up. Yeah.
Just some scuffs and bumps, nothing too much.
Okay. Can I have
You'd heal them with like a half-hour rest at a campsite. And we're going to pick up with Bryn, who is currently swinging around inside.
So the last thing I remember is that the witch was following the... Like she was looking out the window because Wolfgang had just jumped out it. And
Yes.
I had come up the stairs behind.
But her attention seems to have shifted and the house seems to be walking away, but she's now focusing on you. You attacked her and you had a round of combat. And
Did we?
yeah, you had a round of combat. You charged her.
Oh, okay.
And it was just ended with like neutrality. You both rolled the same number of dice.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'm going to keep trying to attack her then.
Okay, so
So we're in the moving house now.
No, I
yes, the chicken house is moving away.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm going to get you to do is make a acrobatics check with a challenge level of 2 to keep your footing. Now the witch is floating above the ground. However, you are in a house moving on chicken legs. So
One.
one success. So you're going to get -1 success off your combat roll.
Cool.
And you're going to make a combat roll.
Oh.
3.
3 successes. You're going to really enjoy this bad boy. 10. Oh, yeah. And the witch has scored 5 successes, which is enough to blow you prone.
You're in trouble.
So with a wave of her hand, she blows you onto the ground and Bryn scatters across the floor. And then she says, "Out! Out! Out of my home!" And the chicken house sort of tilts to a 45-degree angle. Everything's sliding across the floor towards the open window. And the house is like shaking, like someone shaking a box. So you're being driven towards the open window, sliding across the ground.
Can I use my axe to embed myself to like smack it in and hold on the tilt?
You can, sure.
Like a
I'm going to get you to
climbing
make
aspect.
another acrobatics check, challenge level 3, but you can assist with your combat roll.
So I have to do another combat roll.
Yeah, but this is an assist. Wait, what's that?
That was my acrobatics.
Okay, so now you got to assist with combat to hopefully get your 3rd win.
Okay. Nothing. 3.
Nothing. All right. You attempt to get some purchase with your axe swinging wildly, and as you chip into the ground, your axe nicks into a floorboard of the house, and you start to get purchase. And then the floorboard of the house poof, shoots out of the ground, the nails fly out, and it expels the axe out of the wood, and you tumble out of the hole and hit the ground hard.
Love that.
And you sustain a level 1 injury from the impact. And then there is a shake and a rumble, and the chicken house strides off into the woods.
Can we react while this is
By now,
happening?
you've got that was only like 10 seconds. By now, you're standing up off the ground.
Okay, how fast is it going?
It's not going amazingly fast, but by the grace of its like stride, you'd probably have to jog to keep up, and it's now pushing through undergrowth, so you don't think you can keep up with it.
Do I think I could get close enough to throw my bowler at it, at the legs, and see if I could trip it? How big are the legs?
Way too big for your bowls.
okay.
It would do nothing.
All right.
Yeah, I hate to do this, but in character, I'm not staying. I've got these 2
Yeah,
very vulnerable
yeah.
near-death kids. And the house has run away. I don't know Bryn. Barely spoken to the guy. He's weird as hell, but I have 2
And
kids
he's just
to rescue.
fallen out of the house. By the time you're up off the ground, you see Bryn get shaken out of the building and like smack into the ground, and then the chicken house starts to stride away.
Yeah. Wolfgang pelts it in the direction he came, tries to track his previous tracks, and his first concern is getting these kids back to town.
Cool. All right. So what's Bryn do?
Can I stand up?
Oh,
Yeah, you can
Grab my axe and make after the chicken leg and try and chop it down?
Okay. So you're very unlikely to be able to catch up. I'm happy to let you make a check to try and chase after it, if you'd like, but you're aware it's already stepped into like thick undergrowth and walking through forested trees. You can attempt to. It's just you have that innate feeling that it's going to be really difficult to catch up to it. And you might be able to if you roll really well, but yeah. Each stride is like 20 meters, and it's just like...
Okay, I won't. He's a bit worse for wear right now.
I'm going to run over to Bryn and go help him.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm at a level 3 injury right now.
Okay.
So I'm not great.
You're quite injured. So you
Or
stand
injury
up.
level 3. I've got 3.
I'll come over to you and say, we've missed our opportunity. We should head back.
I will get her.
So I'm
Now that
Yar.
I know your
Car
intent was like
accident.
you were leaving with the kids, but this has happened in the space of 10 seconds. So while you're like got the kids
So
and
I'm,
ready to
like,
go,
ready to
you
go.
look
Okay.
over and like Helga's getting up Bryn. You don't need to like scurry off and abandon them.
So I turn and I'm like, quick, we must hurry if we're going to get these children back to safety. We cannot dawdle. The house will do what it will do. We must act now.
Yarp.
All right. So who's leading the way?
I'm going to say Wolfgang's pretty eager.
I'm going to get you to make a survival check with a challenge level of. I'm going to get you to make a perception check first. Challenge level of 3.
Oop.
I got 4.
4. Okay. So I'm going to give you advantage on your survival check,
Yay.
which was a challenge level of 3.
Cool. I am very glad I got advantage.
Thanks to the advantage.
Because I got 2 3s and 1 5, which makes it 3. I succeeded.
Cool.
Otherwise, I may not have if I were not perceptive.
I also want to cover this off. This is something that is added in the new update to the Cogent rules, and it says that an approximation for people is that you should award 1 destiny point to each player approximately for every 3 hours of play or a substantial campaign session. So it's probably been close to that, so I'm going to give you all a destiny point.
Yay!
Cool.
Because we've all used them.
So that way it's not after each session if your sessions are only an hour, but if you do run like 3-hour sessions, after each session. But it's more about the play time and the time that people have had to use them. So
Love
cool.
it. Great.
And you succeed. So over the next half an hour, you navigate your way through the bushes. Your perception, what that check was for, is you can actually spot the plumes of smoke coming from the chimneys of the town right at the edge of your vision above the trees, and you use that as a guiding mark to lead your way back to the village.
Yeah.
After that half an hour, I can't remember what time it was, but it was like
It was first thing in the morning. I think.
yeah, so it's like
morning.
mid-afternoon probably. You've been out for like 4 hours or so. By the time you get back, it's just post-lunchtime, and you push in from the edges of the woods looking very worse for wear.
We're going to head straight to Johnson's house or whatever
I
his
guess so,
name is.
yeah. I have a bad feeling about this. So, yeah, we head to there.
What's the name of the guy?
Who?
In the house that we confronted? And
Did you say Johnson's?
Johnson?
Johnson
or
and Johnson.
Theodore.
Theodore, thank you.
Theodore, yeah.
Theodore. We go to Theodore's house.
Cool. All right, so you rush over to Theodore's house.
And break
The
down
door
the door.
is broken.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's still not going well.
I bend down and knock on the door on the ground. No, I'm just
Yeah, the door is
We just
broken
kick
off
it.
its hinges.
We just kick it open.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And inside, you see that there is a fairly poorly dressed woman inside, sitting, and she's just cleaning up after a lunch that looks like a poultry stew.
Do you have food or medical supplies?
She looks up at you with a start. What? What?
Your children. We need food and medical supplies immediately.
Should we dump them on the bed or?
I'm holding them, but I don't know if they have enough to help these kids out. So I'm first checking if
They can.
they can be helped here. If not, we're going straight to my place.
Oh, they're lucky. She looks shocked, and then she says, we have no food.
You have no food. I have food. Come to my place.
Okay.
Quickly. Time is of the essence.
She
They
actually
don't deserve it.
The children.
Yeah, but why are you telling the parents to come?
Theodore
Theodore is
keep
what
an
he was
eye on them.
saying.
We can see how they handle.
I'm gonna be like
If
right
they-
behind them, super menacingly. on the
Theodore isn't
entire
there.
walk.
It's just Alvina.
If they
who
leap
you haven't got a
into
name.
tending to the children and helping them, then there's a chance for redemption.
You can investigate them.
Yeah.
Interrogate them.
Get
sorry.
better the enemy, keep them closer, is what I say. So I lead everyone straight to my place where I, have a meticulously looked after pantry and medical supplies.
I'm not gonna go with you guys. I turn around to you and say, I must report to Vilma. Viloma. I will be back,
Okay.
and I'll leave.
Helga walks
I'm
up.
just gonna walk behind the mother really
Cool.
menacingly.
She seems upset, and she does get to your house. You lay the children down. They're craggy, dried saliva around their lips. They do not look good. Just very shallowly breathing, but they are alive.
I snap my fingers and point in the corner of the room, indicating towards Bryn. Quick, water. Quick.
I get water.
Like, ladle it to the children and, try and...
After a probably like 30 seconds of laboured effort, they take the first sip, as they a lot of it's pouring around their mouth, but very weakly begin to. And the mother is sitting there. She seems in shock for the first minute, and then she goes over to Gretel and sort of, you see her, she starts stroking her hair out of her face, and like she's got a very odd expression on her.
When did you last see them?
Yesterday.
What were they doing? What were you doing?
She looks harrowed, and she says, briefly checking the children are sort of unconscious, and then she says, I left them.
You left them in the woods?
Yes.
Why?
Because it was them or all of us. I didn't want to do it, but...
It should have been you. Any parent would know that.
And if it was us, it would be them after. They cannot fend for themselves. I didn't have the heart to take their life. I thought perhaps, I don't know.
Well, I might
maybe they
have
had a
the heart
chance
to
out
take
there.
yours.
And then what of the children?
I'm adept at making sure children are looked after.
And there is
You, it seems, are not.
I'm gonna make a little check for her.
2 successes.
She says, do not be so quick to judge me, Wolfgang. One who does not look after their own child.
How very dare you? You know nothing of my children and my life. You know not how I've tried, or what I've lost, what he chased. You're in my house. You act with respect.
Yes.
I would say at this point I'd be tending to some of my wounds in the corner, but I'm
Okay.
definitely listening, and the more she speaks, I'm getting angrier.
Okay, that's fine. She says, so, what will you do?
First, the children.
Okay.
I tend to the children. I
Oof.
want to restore them.
We'll flip to Helga. That's going to take a laborious process of days to weeks.
Yeah. Well, if I can
They
set,
were already-
set that up
yeah.
to happen, and yeah.
Well, they were already extremely malnourished prior to getting abandoned in the woods.
Yeah. And I'll if I have any connections, I guess while we switch over to Helga,
Yep.
I'll be trying to find people I know in the town who can tend to them while we go
Make a
deal with
general
the
knowledge
problem.
check.
Sure. Challenge level.
To know 2.
None.
Whoa.
I am a hermit.
All right. So you have this idea. That there are probably a lot of people who would obviously happily take in children, and there is no reason why that would have any issue. And obviously people are nice and altruistic. So you think that there's probably a bunch of places you could go, but you do at least know that there's no orphanage or anything like that in the town. But we'll cross to Helga. You go to the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Door opens. As usual, it is empty. People are avoiding the place, but you know from when you came that Villamar had to put enough handsome coin in the palm of the innkeep that they were basically like, cool, I'm taking a week off work
Yeah.
and you can just have
Shut
the
the doors.
place.
Yeah.
I don't need to sell, I don't need to feed the rowdies. I'm paid up. Villamar is sitting there, and she is carving what looks like a bone with a knife in her hand, like whittling a bone. It's rather aggressive work. She looks up at you from her leather hat.
We have found some children.
Oh, did they live?
It is too close to say. They were taken by some witch riding a mortal and pestle. So my companions tell me.
She's going to make a specific knowledge check.
I'll tell her about the house as well, and then get sprouted chicken legs.
Okay, so... This It's going to be challenge level 4. With
Smashed it.
Yeah.
She knows her
Is
shit.
it very specifically something she's very good at? And she's like, no, it couldn't be a witch.
What is it then?
No, it couldn't be her. Surely. A paltry practitioner of the occult, yes. Tell me she didn't have... No. And she looks like down and drops her knife, like drops
What
her
is
stuff on
it?
the table.
Are you laughing at poultry? Just checking.
Baba Yaga, the great witch.
Baba Wala?
Baba Yaga.
I do know what
You've
Baba
heard the legend. Yeah. She's like the boogeyman, the big bad.
What do we do?
We do what we always do. We kill her. She says with vitriol.
We lost sight of the house in the forest. The children were a higher priority to some. We could not catch up.
Baba Yaga, if she wishes to, consume the flesh of children.
Bryn got pretty hurt in the fight.
My wounds will heal. If she wants children, then we give her children. The perfect bait, yes?
What are you suggesting?
We kill her. And we have the perfect bait to lure her again.
I agree with your method, but I think that some in the party may not be so willing.
Their willingness is irrelevant. This is what must be done.
Give me the details. I'll make it happen.
I would spend some time looking at the legends. If I can find anything, then we must use whatever we need to. Killing the Great Witch would be worth any paid price.
Cool.
Back to you guys.
Okay. Tend to the children. How do I fare?
They seem stable. They're very weak, but with constant tending and caring, they look like they'll recover.
Cool. You know, cloths on their head and setting them up with food and blah, blah, blah. I'm not very familiar with the locale. I keep to myself thoroughly, but I take a moment to, I sort of walk to the door, and as I go to head out, say to Bryn, keep an eye on her. Maybe learn if she's worth disposing of. I don't trust her. I don't like her. But I will go find if we can find someone to help the children. And I head out the door.
All right, Bryn hasn't spoken much. Let's have Bryn in the house with the woman and her children.
I'm going to say I've now tended my wounds as best I can. I'm going to sit by the door with my axe, and I'm just going to sharpen it and glare at her.
To her credit, she pays no attention to you. All her attention is she's sort of sitting beside her children, and she's just stroking their hair and like looking at them. But it's like she's tending to them as if she's tending to the dead. She doesn't look at all happy with anything that is going on. She also doesn't seem to care about any intimidation or anything that you're trying to put across. Like she's got that.
I'm not being intimidating yet.
She has the resigned look. Like she just looks dead inside, basically. Cool. So you're just going to sit there and do that? She continues like feeding them water and a little bit of this broth or whatever that Wolfgang has provided, and we'll go to Wolfgang.
Yay. Should I mean, I just go to the nearest door that I'm familiar with that is a residence that I have a feeling I could trust. I am assuming this may be a destiny roll thing to sort of see what I end up with, because I don't know.
I already know the answer to this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
know
this isn't a destiny roll because I know the answer.
Cool.
Well, I'll destiny roll the disposition. Okay, so it's
I knock at the door and I'm like, you know, hopefully someone attends.
yes, a man opens the door. Hello.
Do I know this man?
It's Frederick.
Frederick, hello.
Wolfgang.
You know of the missing children recently. This has been happening.
Yes.
We have recovered 2.
They're in my toy shop upstairs in the bedroom.
Well, rare for children to be in your toy shop, Wolfgang, he says with like a playful jab.
I don't understand what you're saying. It's a toy shop. Where else would they go?
Never mind, Wolfgang. What do you want about these children?
I need your help. We have work to do to make sure this doesn't happen again. So please, if you're willing, could you keep an eye on them? Just check in once or twice every few hours, offer them food, keep them safe, keep an eye on the street.
Keep an eye on them. What do you plan on doing with them?
I want to leave them, keep them safe. I plan to go back and deal with the problem directly.
What is the problem?
Good day, Frederick.
He is left looking after you as you walk down the street with a look of bewilderment on his face, and he glances over to your shop. All right.
I re-enter, approach Bryn. I believe they should be all right, at least until we handle the
That'll be
cause
fine.
of the
Frederick's got
problem.
it sorted.
Yeah.
He's not at yeah, okay, cool. Helga, what are you doing?
If she's just gonna Villamar.
She's now gone off and she's consulting, like pulling out books from the luggage. Like she goes out to the carriage and it's like looking through tomes of lore.
I'm gonna go back to Wolfgang's house.
You can't. You can do that. I was about to say that they're not useful to you because you can't read them.
Yep.
These books, they're all written in Latin, and you guys don't speak it because you're just none of you. I don't imagine any of you have a more formal education, so you can obviously read and write the current language of the area, but these are older books written in Latin.
Actually, I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna go around to the houses while it's still daylight and try and get some information, see if people know anything about Baba Yaga and sightings of witches and stuff, and also kind of an estimation of how many kids are in this town.
Okay.
So take a little clipboard and be like, hey, I want to sell you some satellite TV. Can I come in for a chat?
All right. So you go to a local house, and a woman answers. Hello.
Hello.
How can I help you?
I am doing some investigation, just asking some simple questions just to help the town out. It seems like you guys are doing it pretty tough at the moment.
Yes, times are hard.
I just wanted to ask a few quick questions. How many children do you have residing here?
I have 5 little ones.
5? That's a lot of kids.
Pretty standard.
Yeah. Oh, someone's been busy.
She says, I was blessed. I only lost 1.
I'm just, yep, okay. Tell me, is there an orphanage or a church here?
Of course there is a church, but there's no orphanage. There, no one can take care of the children if their parents can't.
Okay.
Times are hard.
What usually happens in those circumstances?
They go to a better life with God.
Do they perhaps leave them somewhere or just...
Once or twice we've had a child on the streets that has lived for a while on the crumbs and handouts. I believe once one was taken in and the other time they were found.
Found by who?
Locals. They didn't make it through the cold night.
I see. Do you have any sightings or any rumors, I suppose, of weird witches or houses or stuff that happens in the forest that isn't particularly normal?
No, preposterous. That is the stuff of old wives. There's no such thing.
Do you say old wives? Like old wives' tales? Tell me, what is this common?
Oh, they prattle about silly things. Recently I heard a man from the hamlet down south. He supposedly suddenly has wealth that he didn't have before. Gifted to him by a beautiful princess. You know, the usual nonsense.
Does he have a name?
The man? 5 destiny roll. I do not recall.
Thank you for your time. You've been extremely helpful.
She bids you goodbye. Good day. Good bay.
Good bay.
Good bay. You are my good bay.
So I can probably guess from going around the town that there's a decent amount of kids in this village.
Yeah, well, it's a village of like 500 people or so there'd be like
Cool.
50 to 100 to 200 children. I don't really know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
assuming there'd be a lot more children than elderly because the children die off. So there'd be a constant rate of like, compared to modern day, the population probably is a lot more skewed towards younger people than now.
And I want to question them more about this hamlet down south.
Mm-hmm.
Anything?
Who are you? Just another person?
Just other people, yeah.
Make a roll of no value.
Oh, great.
What am I going to get you to
3
roll?
dice.
Probably just perception.
Okay.
Did I say Boca?
Bowler.
Like, what is that Boda? Is that
I saw that too, and I was like, wait, what?
Boda power.
Okay, so
Perception?
yeah, get you to roll perception, see if you can spot anyone that might have some good info. Challenge level 2. You do with 3 successes. All right, you spot a man who seems to have finished work for the day because it's like probably pushing 4 o'clock now, and most people rise at like 6 and work till 2 or 3. And yeah, he's just leaning up against the thing, having a good old chin wag when you approach. But he seems like the sort of person who keeps abreast of rumors.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
What a fine woman you are.
Oh, thank you, sir.
What a specimen. He smiles at you.
Yes, it's good to meet you too.
Specimen. Good line, bro.
Good try.
He's a large, haughty fellow himself.
Does he look quite well off? Like he's...
No one in this town looks well off, but he doesn't look poor. He's got a job and he eats.
Yeah, okay.
He's actually got a little bit of fat on him, which would suggest he's better off than most, but you wouldn't call him well off.
Yeah. Indulge me. I have been hearing rumors that you have acquired some wealth from...
Me? No, but the rumors of acquiring wealth. You must be talking about Janik down south.
Janet?
Janik.
Oh, Janik. Sorry.
Janet.
Oh,
He's not a woman.
the accent is very thick.
Ridiculous, a proprietor woman. Silly. You're funny too. All right, well, he's a farmer from the hamlet down south, but half a day's travel down south, and he's suddenly got a bit of coin, doesn't he?
Do you know how?
No one does, but sure, if you went and asked him, you might be able to find out. However, if you'd rather stay for tea, I can chat a bit longer.
I have friends that I am currently with. I don't want to keep them waiting. You've been very helpful. Thank you very much, sir.
Always here for you, miss.
Charming.
And as you walk off, you hear him say to like his male companions he's with, "Oh, I love a woman that looks like she could chop firewood as good as I could." And he's like, too many twigs floating around town, not able to do any work.
Love it.
Okay. It's probably the only time you've ever been remotely hit on in the last 5 years. Helga is not a woman that is used to that kind of attention.
Do I think that this is a wild goose chase, or do I feel like this is at all worth my time?
It sounds interesting.
I'm going to go back to you guys and report on what's been going on.
Yeah, you all meet up in Wolfgang's toy shop.
I've been, preparing supplies and probably even grabbing some medical things to tend to us now that the kids are looked after, so that we can sort of recover, ready to head out and tackle this.
Cool.
Can we?
Well, you need. How injured are you all?
I'm level 2.
1.
3.
Okay.
Level 2 and a level 1.
Level 2 and a level
Okay. So you estimate you will require like 3 days of solid resting to recover those injuries. Level 1 injuries, for those who have them, they're gone. You've recovered them because you've been just doing light work. The level 2 injury without proper medical care, you're going to take like 2 or 3 days to get better. That's like the equivalent of like quite a severely sprained ankle. It's not going to get better overnight. It just takes like 3 days to get better.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is there any sort of, if it is something like that, like any sort of bracing or anything to maybe reduce it to the efficacy of a level 1 injury?
I'm going to say
could I make
if
a
none
check?
of you have any trained medical knowledge.
Can I
I'm gonna
assist
say
as
you
a
can.
toy maker? No,
I
just
defended myself. Can I use a survival check for that?
So what you can, for this level of actually like treating an injury, I'm going to say you need a vocation. You can make the check. Challenge level is 3. It's going to be intelligence as the attribute. The check is
survival.
it's a vocational medical check.
Okay.
If you don't have a vocational medical check,
You're making it
you
as
can
an
roll it as a
intelligence
base
check.
roll plus int because you don't have the skill. If that makes sense. So it's
Yeah,
and that by that way, anyone can actually attempt any skill that exists. You could attempt to hack a computer, even if you don't have a hacking skill, but you just use intelligence plus base 3 because you don't have any points in the skill.
Also, if he has a level 2 and a level 1 injury, can his level 1 injury be?
It's gone. Level 1's gone,
cool.
for both
All
of
right,
you.
Cool.
So have you all got?
So then I
level
guess
2
basically
injuries?
I'm just going to
Oh, no, level 2,
see
level
if I
2, you're
can
fine.
help Helga with a level 2 injury like any person might with
assist?
an injury. Yeah, well, I guess it's a check.
Okay.
An untrained vocational check.
So you may make it worse. That's fine.
I turn to Helga, and now that you're back and we're sort of getting sorted, and I say, I am not trained, but would you like me to try and help with your, and I sort of indicate down towards your leg. or
How
whatever
did you
it is
actually
that-
get injured?
Was it that I jumped on you?
That was one.
No, you have
The
2 level 1
second-
injuries. You don't have a level 2 injury because you got cut through the brushes,
that's
and then you
right.
got injured. Yeah.
Yes.
So you're fine.
Okay, we're good. So Rob has a level
Rob
2
is the
injury.
only one with an injury. He has a weird bite on his shoulder that is like,
Okay.
for some reason, not.
So we're all
So-
recovered except for his wolf
Yeah,
bite.
he's got a big wolf
So-
bite, and it looks not. It looks very odd. It looks very inflamed and sore, and like there's big purple veins pulsing
sense.
out near it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool narratively. Like, that's the thing that can't be fixed.
Yeah.
I turn to Bryn and I say, that wound is looking very angry. Is there anything I can do to help?
Have you got anything to drink?
As it happens, yes. And I walk off and get some booze.
Cool. I'm going to take a swig of his booze and then I'm going to approach the woman.
Okay. She's sitting over her children, who are still flitting in and out of consciousness.
Where is the pitiful excuse of a father these children have?
He's trying to find work.
Where?
I don't know. Trying to pick up any work he can for a coin. Probably out at the farms, seeing if any farmers need an extra hand.
I'm going to go try and find him.
Okay. Get you to make a destiny roll for this. This is kind of just random chance to bump into him.
Ooh,
A 19. All right.
Cool.
You do. You head around the peripherals and you see him coming back with a group of sort of like trappers, and he's carrying all their crap. He's like covered in like more stuff than he should be carrying, but he's pushing through and carrying it all.
And Helga and I following behind.
I thought you were staying with Mum.
Yeah, I thought we were staying there too, but
Oh, I sort of thought at this point we might all head off together. I've told the neighbour to look after
yeah,
the
that's
kids.
true. That's true. Yeah, that's fine by me.
That's why I thought I'd sort of check.
Destiny roll 14. Okay. Frederick will stop in on the children at least. Also, they do have a mother.
Yeah, but I don't
Looking,
trust her.
yeah, looking,
yeah,
trust her.
yeah.
I don't
I mean,
trust her.
she's the one who left them in the frickin' forest.
Are you or are you not together?
We are
I'd say
together.
we are, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you stride over.
I'm going to glare at him and tell him to wait, and then I'm going to approach the trappers.
Okay.
What are the trappers?
He's with people that are.
You approach the trappers.
Tell me what you know of wolves in the area.
Wolves, they're a bit of a pest, but they haven't been around much lately. We hear the howls, but there ain't no pack.
I certainly saw a big one.
Well,
Destiny roll for this dude. 11.
well, I can't say I've seen any evidence of it. Game's been a bit scarce lately, though.
You look and they've got like a couple of rabbits and that's it. They look like they've been out for ages checking like a lot of traps.
Oh.
Is there anyone in the forest that might have more information? Doesn't, live in town?
Well, if you want to go and ask every single person in the town, I'm sure someone might know something, but we're out there a lot and we don't see any wolves.
Very well.
Cool.
And then I'm going to walk back to the house and just tell that.
We're ignoring the dude.
wait.
Oh, no, I'm going to tell him to follow.
He doesn't.
Okay.
He walks with trappers carrying all their gear.
Well, then I will move him.
Okay, so you head over to him
Yes.
and he looks at you come over and he's like,
What do you want?
Follow.
I've got to finish my job.
I don't care.
Well, I bloody do care. I haven't gotten work in 2 weeks.
I heft my axe.
What's he got on
And
him?
Destiny roll for you. So that's not 3. That's
Ooh.
not what you wanted.
Okay.
He looks at you square in the eye and he says,
What are you going to do? Cut me down in the street while I'm trying to work? See how well that does ya?
I'm a monster hunter. I hunt monsters.
he just looks like he doesn't accept the criticism.
I'm gonna step in between you two, and I ask him what's
There's
his
a
name?
whistle from the trappers as they start to walk off.
I say to him, I finished the job.
What? No. I'll be done in 10 minutes. If you really must hassle me.
No, I still want to try and take him. Whether or not be fighting or literally picking him up.
Okay. Make a athletics check.
Challenge level.
2.
Two.
You
Shit
scuffle.
roll.
You scuffle for a while, and neither of you gets the advantage. A couple of traps drop to the ground, and the 3 trappers turn around and walk closer, and they're like, one of them's just like,
Oi! What are you doing? You're scuffing up our stuff. Bugger off! Leave him alone. Outsider.
He's needed.
Yeah, with us. You got a problem with all of us.
Bryn, you're making a scene.
I don't care.
We should go.
he's just like,
Theodore might be a weasel, but that man's just lost his kids.
And we've found them.
he looks shocked and make a perception check.
Say any self-respecting father would want to see his lost children. This one refuses.
Make a persuasion check.
Intimidation persuasion? Or persuasion
No, because you're
persuasion?
not intimidating
No.
these 3 guys. You're persuading them. Challenge level, I haven't looked. It's probably 2.
2.
Okay. They're like,
Well, there's no need to wrestle him. We're almost done. We just got to put the traps back and then he can go.
My associate here can help you.
What is their bloody problem?
and they all just mumble to themselves. And they're just like,
We ain't giving our gear to an outsider. What's 10 minutes going to matter?
Bryn, quit acting uncivilized. We are here to help these people and hunt monsters. Don't act like a monster. We will all assist you until the job is done. Then you, and I look at him, you will come with us.
okay, so I'm going to get you, Wolfgang, to make a persuasion check.
Yep.
And the challenge level for this is 3. And it's not going to make much sense to you, but it makes a lot of sense in my brain.
Yep.
So basically what has happened is you've kind of turned through your actions. You notice there's like a bunch of people popping out of the doors and looking at
Yeah.
you. You've kind of flipped the dial to the negative. So the town is now starting to look on you with suspicion and
Yeah.
like the darkness is rising in the general atmosphere. This is to basically
trying
counter
to
that.
turn that
So if you
around.
succeed, you'll counter it. If you fail, you'll still achieve what you wanted. But if you succeed,
yeah.
you'll counter the turn. 3 successes.
Yay!
Okay. So Wolfgang basically
As a
steps
member
in
of
as
the
a member
town,
of the
yeah.
town and defuses that. And you help them put the traps back. And then they give a single coin to Theodore. And then he is released to go off with you.
Sometimes I say in an educating way to Bryn. The way to get people to follow you is to join them, rather than scrabble about on the ground like children. I've seen enough of that. So chastise him gently as we place these traps. Okay, cool. Wrap up their help their job.
All right, so and Theodore is now with you. The trappers sort of lead off and say, are you sure we can leave? And he's like, yeah, you can go. And he's alone with you.
So you head back
I'm taking him back to his kids.
All right. You take him back, and on the precipice of the door, he spots his partner, Ailil, through the window. He looks at you and he's like, and what's your plan? You want him, do you?
I lock the door.
He's
so
outside.
they can't get in, or
I thought we would have
He's on the
taken him in.
precipice. He stops at the entrance to the toy shop and says this before he's inside.
sir, don't you have some sort of responsibility as a parent?
And it's a responsibility I can't keep. Don't you understand that?
It is
Then
not my
don't
problem.
have them.
We could keep it before the famine. Do you think we want this?
Sir, why are you getting so aggressive?
Because you're telling me that I've got to take these kids and die with them, or they can die now, or you can have them, or we can. There's no bloody good answer.
Sir,
We're still dying.
Sir, calm down.
Make a destiny roll. See if you can calm him, because he's getting furious. A 4.
Not so good.
No, he's just like, you have no bloody idea what it's
I'd like to
here."
deck him.
Okay. Make a combat roll.
I knew this was coming. I wanted
Is anyone
to-
watching?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh my god.
Just gonna start backing it up.
Base 3 plus strength.
Unarmed. So if you're unskilled, you just roll it.
What did you get?
3 successes. Which is a pretty good roll.
Yeah, you've been rolling really well.
Okay, I'll destiny. I want to equal him.
Okay. So you scuffle again, and neither of you injure each other.
You spent your last
Fuck
destiny.
yeah. This guy's annoying.
Well, it would have been embarrassing if you went to deck him and the guy just punches you in the face and drops you
It's
on
like
the
I'm-
ground.
That would be fun.
You scuffle a little bit, and
It could, I mean, if you've been
but
drinking-
neither of you comes out injured. Like, he dodges the blow and tries to push you back, and you dodge it, and then he's just staring at you, fuming. And he's like,
What's your answer? I'll take the kids back. Fine. And then we'll all die together.
Perhaps we should leave you in the woods.
I've just spent the day out there trying to make some coins so my wife doesn't have to die too. If you want such a precious life for these kids, because God knows we wanted to give it to them, maybe you can give it to them.
Very well. I will take them.
Now, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to pretend none of this happened.
Inside.
your toy shop.
oh.
You just had an argument on the street, and there's a
Okay.
couple of people watching out of the windows as Bryn tried to deck Theodore.
I walk in with him and proclaim to the room in front of the mother, they have agreed. The children are now mine.
She looks at you, and she says, as I said, you very vaguely knew these people, and tears well up in her eyes. And she says, thank you.
If both of you leave town and I never see you again, I will raise your children as my own. They will be fed and looked after. You are a blight on their lives that I do not want present in it.
And there's a brief exchange, very quiet and muffled between them, and looks back and she says, "Yes." And she says, "It's best this way. They shouldn't have to live in a town." Well, you can interrupt
I'm
at any
gonna
point.
pull you aside and kind of say like,
Let me just hold up there.
Yeah. I think that you're being a bit rash.
How?
There is an unexplained phenomenon happening right now. We need to sort this out first.
I agree. But
So-
see, situations that we are looking at is here whether we fix the phenomenon or not. These children need a home. They were attempted to be murdered. Their parents are a plague.
Sure, but I feel like something else is afoot. Perhaps for now, we leave them be. Your friend can check on them, and we sort out what's happening in the woods.
I agree. I just want to formalize this arrangement.
It is your business what you do, but I just want you to have a level head about these things, that's all. I don't know what's happening. It could be affecting all of us.
I have nothing but a level head. Thank you very much.
I am Mr. Levelhead.
Level and head are my
Everyone, this
middle
town's
names.
fucking crazy.
And they've had their conversation in the same period. And then Ailil says, it would be best that they do not have to live in a town with parents who couldn't look after them. Tell them that we died.
Very well.
They probably can't remember much from the woods. They were so sick and tired. Perhaps we all tried to get away together and we died. Not for us. I know you loathe us, but they should at least have fonder memories of better people than we were.
I will do this as the only favor for you, but I know under the surface that it was the monster hunters that disposed of you both. For you are monsters. Now get out.
And they leave. She takes one. Theodore's like, "Come on, let's go." And he just like huffs and goes to walk out, but she takes like a long, sad look at her kids one more time and then walks out. And you kind of over this time have gotten the feeling that she never wanted to have to do that, but she like the dad pushed it into the, like, this is the only way, whereas she probably would have just starved with her kids and died before them. Whereas he was kind of like well, if we died, they die anyway, so we have to like put ourselves first.
Okay. Now that the arrangements have been made, we can deal with the root of the problem.
Cool.
What is the plan?
Are the kids, they're still unconscious, but stable?
Yeah, they seem to actually be for the first time. They took in some like stew. They've had a little bit of drink, but very like unconscious of it. And for the first time, they actually seem to be sleeping, not like flitting in and out of restless consciousness. They actually seem to have fallen asleep.
Okay, so we can talk pretty freely then.
They're also like 5, so they're not like 10-year-olds. They're very young.
What's the Grim Gang leader name again?
Vilma.
You visited Vilma, was it?
Yes.
What did she say?
She says that the witch that you both encountered was called Baba Yaga. She is powerful. I do not know much, but she has some research she needs to do. I'll also just tell you guys that we're around the town, asked a bunch of people, and then there's a person named Janik that we should probably visit, who I don't know if you know who
do
they
I
are.
know of Janik or any of that?
No.
Okay.
I've never heard of them.
Neither had I.
All right, let's go.
What's the time?
Well, like sun's starting to go orange. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
5
fine.
o'clock.
I reckon we go.
We
How-
head to this, I think it was south.
It's half a day's travel
Yeah.
away.
Yep. I'll load up supplies and off we go.
Cool.
Okay.
I nod to Frederick out the window as we walk past and indicate. And we head out.
Make a perception check on your way out of town.
Okay.
Everyone was just...
Yeah, everyone can. Challenge level is 3.
1. Oof.
I feel like I'm just going to be like grumbling, talking to myself, like pissed off.
4 successes.
Am I in pain?
4 successes. Are you in pain?
Like more pain than I would expect for the wolf bite on my shoulder.
Less pain than you would expect for the injury.
Interesting. That was a shit roll, but 1.
Cool. So you got 4 successes, 1 and 1. You spot 2 things on your way out of town, Helga being very perceptive. Do you check in with Villamar again before you go? Or are you just going to go gather more information?
I'm going to ask if you want to check in with her.
Yes.
Cool. So you're going in to check with her. Meanwhile, you spot these things on the way out of town. First of all, you spot Theodore and Ailil packing up, and they look like they're leaving town. They're putting together blankets and stuff, and their measly possessions. The second thing you spot, you've spent more time in this town, is just depressing. You get to the edge of town and you sort of hear a fly buzzing around and look across, and you can see this very, very ill-looking child sitting on a porch in front of a house with flies buzzing around, their eyes just glazed and staring off into the distance. And inside you can see a hunched figure leaning over a kitchen counter with bones protruding through the narrow skin, famine to extreme. You spot there's one goat on the edge of town that's your ribs are sticking out, the milk bucket's next to it, and
is it starting to get a bit weird?
No,
this is completely normal.
this is just life.
Yeah, okay.
There are times as I said at the start of the session, that it's been a really hard season, and some people are. Everyone's hoping for the break as we move towards the next season and things are going to get better. But we're at the point where people are dropping off. Some people aren't making it through. So, and you're seeing that. You're seeing there's people that are,
Your poor town.
It's not just this town. It's pretty much every town that isn't. The difference is the bigger cities, the impoverished generally live, and they live by being exploited. Whereas out in the town, there's not as much exploitation, but there's more people that just die.
Yeah.
So Bryn heads into Villamar. You walk in. She's poring over some books. There is a man standing next to her that you recognize as Henrik. He is a wiry man. He's got sort of he's actually got little glasses on, down pitched on his nose. He reminds you that he's wearing a little bit almost of similar toy maker stuff to Wolfgang. He's a technical guy, and you know him to be the law master that travels with you. And amongst his strange collection of things, you spot his very immaculately made little musket pistol that he has hanging off his hip. And he's got the most eccentricities of everyone. He's got lots of weird things that look almost gadgety or occulty about him. Not era realistic stuff. It's not a magical orrery, but he's the one with the pocket watch and the telescope and all that kind of stuff. He's got a sextant for some reason.
Am I aware of who Baba Yaga is? I mean, I've been with them for 30, 40 years at this point.
You've heard the name, but you don't know any deep information unless you've put points into it.
I have 1 in Grim Gang.
Okay, cool. I'll just say without making a check that yes, you are aware that Baba Yaga, only the surface information that it's the legendary evil witch, potentially the god of witches or the head witch, the origin of witchcraft and the one that teaches. You've probably only dealt with witches twice in the whole time you've been with the Grim Gang, but they have been paltry practitioners of the art, a little bit of sorcery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Baba Yaga. It's interesting we find her so far out from civilization. Thank you.
Henrik looks up and says,
So far out from civilization? I guess the legend says she roams around.
and Viloma looks up and says,
My wolf has returned.
That's a weird nickname.
she's called you it before.
Okay.
Because you hunt.
Hunt wolves, yeah.
And you're good at it.
Yeah. I fear there's a greater evil in this forest.
I do not think there are greater evils than Baba Yaga.
There is a...
Save the devil.
Himself, and she crosses.
a wolf in a man's skin.
Henrik looks interested.
A wolf in a man's skin.
That sounds like... Yeah. I've heard that before. A skin changer. You saw this beast?
I fought it.
Well, that you are here says a glorious kill. Congratulations, Wolfgang.
And it got the better of me. And I gesture to the Blightwind.
I saw your wound. I figured you carried it with pride. For you do not hide it. It got the better of you. Interesting. And you live. I've not heard of that. The only legend of skin changes I've heard of, they killed all who they came in contact with. So, does that mean we have another hunt in these woods?
We cannot let it remain. Vile creature.
Of course. Well, you know what must be done. All these strange beasts must be killed. And, Bryn, you know you're the man to do it.
Vilmar looks up.
Yes. Bryn, I trust you. And I know that you are our axe. Our headsman's axe. Make sure that all tainted, horrible fiends are dead. Do this for me.
Of course.
We will be leaving in a few days. There are rumors. So, make it done by then.
I will do my best.
Cool. And you leave the room. There's a strange pulsing twinge in your shoulder. Feels strange for just a moment as the first rays of moonlight climb through the tops of the canopies as the moon is rising and the sun is setting.
I got a bad feeling about this.
The gang start to head south towards the legend of Janik, the farmer who has suddenly become very wealthy. And that's where we're going to end the session. That was a session. Lots of working out stuff. We've got some resolutions.
It's exciting. What a fun world. What a fun,
I am
happy...
agree. The more I run it, I'm like feeling what we've had some comments. I'm like, so this is a campaign, right? I'm like 4 episodes.
It's feeling like that. I'm sorry. I have to say, Hansel and Gretel, that if I have my dream come true,
They turned
I would raise them as my own and say we'll join the Grimm gang.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
100%. Raise them as monster killers. How cool would that be? Then there's a sequel.
You'll have to see what
play my
Villamar
cards,
thinks of
see what
that.
happens. Yeah, but that's the goal.
She'll teach them to kill before she teaches them to read.
Thank you to our lovely patrons. Wait, I've got to do the patron thing. Ah, there they are. Look.
I was going to say it's Patreon time. That was what that was. It's Patreon time.
I like that.
That's
I really like that.
Idioma.
Wait, hey.
The Dark Fox.
Professor X? Yeah.
17, 18 year old.
Tickle Dark.
Oh, I'd
AJ
tickle a duck.
Macy.
Would you tickle a duck? I'd
And to
tickle a duck.
all our other patrons.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you
for your
very
support.
much.
We're very excited for the amazing things that you guys enable us to do, including commission more art and
What week, like fortnightly one shots now on. We're streaming them now. It's like workday schedule. It's all happening.
it feels very good. It's feeling good. It's feeling very good, and it feels good because we can do it. And everyone, everyone's paid to be here, and we're running and we can commission art of portraits.
I don't
and
like it when you say that because it makes me think like it's like don't say your wish out loud. I'm like, shh, don't tell anyone. What did you do at work today? I ran a role playing session.
Well,
like,
that's what their wonderful support is.
That's
because
too
they want us
amazing.
to. It is. It really is a dream come true, and you are a direct support of making our dreams come true. Thank you so much,
Thank you, patrons.
This was fun. And,
yes, it was.
And I think we have one chapter left, but
Sure.
no
If you
promises.
insist.
I
If you
don't.
insist.
There we go.
For this this 4-part stint. But I think there's always, you know what, there's going to be a return of multiple of one-shots that we've already done. Mm-hmm. We're going to come back to stuff. That's the fun of our one-shots and mini campaigns is there's a lot of movement and play around in different areas, and this has been really fun. So, yeah, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to
cool.
the finale, yeah.
See you in the next episode.
Bye.
Everyone. Bye.